This is Amud Yomi Gemara Shabbos Daf Lamid Amud Aleph, and we pick it up in the bottom of Chavtes Amud Beis at the Mishnah. Hamechabes aner, so to extinguishes kiboy aner on Shabbos. Why? Mimneishu yarim is mipnei anachrim. He's worried about the goyim. They list him about robbers. Mipnei ruach ra. He's worried about a ruach ra. Mipnei achelish yishan. Or so a sick person can sleep. In all of these cases, Potter, he is Potter. There is no Isser De'araisa. The Gemara will explain a little bit more. Continues the Mishnah. Kechasal an air, but if he puts out the candle because he wants to spare the candle, Kechasal Hashem, and he wants the oil, Kechasal Psila, he wants the wick, Chayiv, in all those cases, he is Chayiv. In all of these cases, however, Rav Yosi, Poiter Mikulam, Chutz, Min Psila, Meshu Isa Pechem, Kos Lamaisa, and makes a Pechem, it makes a charcoal. So we begin the Gemara, and the Gemara now is going to zone in on a fundamental machlokes that we've already at some level touched upon, which is the machlokes Rav Yehuda and Rav Shimon, which is melacha she'einoi tzricha legufa. What is the status? Rav Yehuda says you're chayiv, Rav Shimon says you're pot. Says the Gemara Mediktani, say for chayiv shma mina. What do we see? That when you put out the candle for the oil, Shema Amino Rav Yehudi. So then if it's Rav Yehuda that you're chayiv, even though you didn't, it's a malacha shein tzrich legufa, you don't need the item itself. Reisha b'maya signa, what is the case in the Reishna? So why does it say potter? Mutter mi bayilei, it's perfectly mutter, it's God, life and death. Of course you're allowed to put out the candle for them. Then chayiv chatas mi bayilei, should be straight up to Haraisa. Answers the Gemara, and why does it say potter? Says the Gemara, Bedino delisni mutter. The Mishnah should have said that it's mutter across. However, if I did the boy lemisni seifa chayiv, tani reisha nami potter, just to be parallel to the seifa, because we don't want it to be the reisha's mutter and the seifa is chayiv. So therefore we said potter, but in reality it is mutter. Says the Gemara of Aditani Rav Aisha, we find similar in Rav Aisha that says, Im b'shel chayla sheyishan lo yichabe, should not put it out for the chayla, but im kiboy potter avalaser. So clearly from Rav Yosi, we see that we're not dealing with a chayla sheyesh b'isakana. Says the Gemara, hi b'chayla she'in b'isakana, v'Rav Shimon he, and that din is according to Rav Shimon. Says the Gemara, Shaul she'ila zu leila me'Rav Tancha demin nevi. They asked the following question, Rav Tancha me'nevi, amau lekabois boitzina. Are you allowed to extinguish a candle, the nura makmi b'isha b'shabbata, for a person who's seriously ill on Shabbos? Pasach ve'omar. So says the Gemara, before we actually get to answer this question, we get into a little bit of a gadata. Rav Tanchem opened and he said, Anta Shloima, you Shloima HaMelech. On Chachmasech, where is your wisdom? On Suchlasunusach, where is your understanding? Loidayach is not enough. Shadvarecha Saishim Divrei David Avicha, that your words contradict the words of David, your father. Elishvarecha Saishim Zeh. What does this mean? Explains Rav Tarfin. David Avicha Amar, what did David HaMelech say? La Mesim Yaluka. The dead, the Mesim, cannot praise Hashem. Vat Amrit. Yet you in Koheles said, V'shabech aniyas ha-Mesim shkvar meisu. I praise the dead, already dead. V'chazarta v'amarta. And then you contradict. Not only did you contradict your father David, Shloimai, but you contradicted yourself when you said, Ki lekelev chayu toiv min ariyam eis. A live dog is better than a dead lion. So a double stira. Answers Rav Tanchem like David what did David HaMelech say when the dead cannot praise Hashem? One should learn Torah mitzvahs before he dies, because once he dies, and the Kadosh Baruch Hu Shevach Bai, and the Sheva has no honor from him. Meaning, and therefore it's not a stira at all, because it just means that you can't do anything after you die. Rav Yochanan meant when he said, what is the meaning of the pasuk? Amongst the dead who are free. Why is the Meisim? Why are they considered chavshi? Why are they considered free? That's what David HaMelech meant. What did Shlomo HaMelech mean? What he meant is, when the Yidden sinned in the desert, when they worshipped the Egel Azov, he davened, he implored, he begged Hashem, and he wasn't answered. When Moshe Rabbeinu finally says, so did Shlomo Melech not say, well, when he said, we see the schusim of the avos, the meisim, was even greater. Teretz number one. Another way of explaining the pasuk, ruler of flesh and blood, makes a decree. We don't know, will it be fulfilled? Only be while he's alive to enforce it. And yet, so is it not good that is it and not good that he praised the dead over those who are living? Meaning, that it came to Moshe Rabbeinu, they're even greater than the present people who are leading Klal Yisrael, cause even after Moshe Rabbeinu is no longer, his decrees are still here. Whereas those who are alive and they make decrees nowadays, it is not. Tavaracher, a third shot in this pasuk. Again, we're explaining the pasuk v'shalech aniyas amesim, figuring out ways that the acts of the mesim are at some level greater than even those who are alive. Tavaracher, a third shot, we're on the second white line. Shabech aniyas amesim v'goymer kid Rav Yehuda Amar Rav, the second white line, excuse me. Damar Rav Yehuda Amar Rav Maidich Sev. What is the meaning of the pasuk that says the same do a sign for me that is God? My enemies should see and be ashamed. Please Hashem, forgive me. Hashem said, you're forgiven. Show me a sign that I'm forgiven. Hashem said, I will not let it be known while you're alive that you have been forgiven. However, but in the lifetime of Shlomo HaMelech, your son, it will be known. And when was it known? He's trying to get the Aron HaKodesh in the Kodesh HaKadoshim. But the gates were locked, were closed, they wouldn't open. Omar Shlomo Esim Ra'abarinana, Shlomo HaMelech says, 24 Renana songs of prayer of Lanana Apostle Amar. He then says, Susham Rashech Minas B'Schlam Rav Melech Kavoid. Ra tu Basrei Lemivloi, the gates tried to swallow up Shlomo HaMelech. Amru Miu Zeh Melech Kavoid. Amar Laho, Shlomo responded. Meaning the gates said, who is this Melech HaKavod that you're saying? The gates wanted to kill Shlomo. Shlomo HaMelech responded, Hashem, Izuz v'Gibor, that's what I'm referring to. Chazav Amar, Sushar Mershechem Zubizchei Olam Diav Melech HaKavod. Miyuz HaMelech HaKavod. Hashem Savaka Izu Melech HaKavod, referring to HaKadosh Baruch Hu v'lo nana. And still the gates were not open. Shlomo HaMelech, Beis HaMikdash complete, trying just to get the Aron in, and he can't. Kiman Shamar, but then Shlomo says, David Avdecha. Remember David HaMelech, my father, and now the gates open. That moment, all the enemies of David turned black like the bottom of the plat. And everyone knew that Hashem clearly forgave David HaMelech, and that's what Shlomo HaMelech means. Shabeach aniyas amisim shekvar mesu. V'hainu derseya b'yom hashvini shilach hazam v'yvarchus HaMelech. And they blessed the king. They went home happy. What does this mean? They went to their tent. When they went home, all their wives were mutter. They were happy. They were delighted from the Shechina of the all of their wives had a baby boy from that relations when they came home from the binyan beis hamikdash hakol hateva she'asa Hashem leDavid avdai shemach le'il sa'avon, that he was forgiven. LiYisrael amo dachlu avon d'Yom Kippurim and Klal Yisrael as well, that they were forgiven for the Aveira on Yom Kippur. We are going to conclude with another statement of Rav Tanchim, 3 psukim that he's going to ask Estira. Utkamer Shleimai, were 5 lines from the bottom. That which Shleimai Melech said, Ki lekelev chayu toimin arya me, he's a live dog. He's better than a dead lion. What is the meaning of the pasuk in Tehillim? Let me know, Hashem, and let me know how long I'm going to live, when I will no longer be alive. David HaMelech wanted to know what's going to be in the future. Amar David of Nekdish Baruch Hu, Rabbeinu Shalaylam, Hoydeni Hashem Kitzi, let me know my end. Amar Loi, Hashem responded, Gezeru Milafanai She'ein Moitin Kitzi. It's a Gezer, I can't tell you, Shabasar V'dam. Omidas Yamai Mahi, Gezeru Milafanai She'ein Moitin, Omidas Yamai Shaladam, Ve'edam Echadolani Amar Loi B'Shabbos Tamos. You want to know when? I'll tell you the day. It was Shabbos. Almost B'Echad B'Shabbos. David HaMelech says, let me die on Sunday. Amrullah Hashem responded, your son's Malchus is waiting, it can't happen anymore. David HaMelech, it's time for Shlomo to take over. We'll finish tomorrow the story of David's Petira, and Shlomo is assuming the crown, the throne.